right?
I mean, it is at 3:30 now.
It is. It's time. It's time to start. Welcome to Art Impossible! For those of you that have never been to Art Impossible before, this is a panel where Wendy and I basically keep you entertained while these artists draw. That's what is going to happen. We're going to issue challenges. We try to keep them entertaining. We attempt.
We babble.
We babble.
Amazingly.
And sometimes we share amusing anecdotes about the history of convergence that has been known to happen. We have several new artists this year, so it's going to be exciting because what happens is we issue challenges of various types, and the challenges that we issue, we have not talked about ahead of time. We did not plan these ahead of time.
That implies planning.
Yeah, we just come up with these on the fly, and they're given something that we want them to draw, and a certain amount of time for them to draw, anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes, and then they start drawing. And while they're drawing or doing something else, we'll get to that in a minute, while they're drawing, we do what we can to maintain an entertaining space. Now, this is a double-length panel, and the reason I bring that up is because it's going to be long. If you need to leave and go to the bathroom, if you need to leave and have lunch, it's fine. We're still going to be here when you're done.
If you need to leave and go do something more entertaining.
Yeah, if you want to go to another panel, it's fine. If at some point you want to go get me a sandwich, I'd be very happy. I haven't had lunch yet. Anyway,
someone was soliciting like
26 years of convergence and you don't know how to eat yet.
I have made it through many years of convergence not eating.
That's not like something to brag about. Anyway, please
I was not bragging, I was merely commenting. Anyway, I want to introduce the artists before we have them draw. It also gives me more time to try and think up the first challenge. We want to start all the way over here on our left. This is our left. I've always had a problem with that.
Well, I mean, the audience is the right.
Never mind, it's on my left. It's on Wendy's right. At the very end, we have somebody who's been doing this panel as long as we have. Somebody who's been doing this convention as long as we have. In fact, somebody who, along with Wendy and myself, helped create this convention that you're at here today. It is Mr. Christopher Jones. He is also, in case you did not know, in case you weren't aware, the creator of our mascot, Connie. So.
He's also like professionally done stuff with art.
He gets paid to draw.
Whatever.
So, good for him. All right, now next to Chris, we have our other veteran, and then we have several new people on our panel, which I'm very excited about because I discovered this morning that almost everybody that I'd invited to the panel had said no. And I don't know how I didn't figure that out until today, but I did. I have a lot of stuff going on. And so I put out a call to get new people involved, and I got 3 people that have never done this panel before, and this morning didn't know they were going to. So I'm very excited about that. But before that is somebody who has done this panel several times, does amazing work, also works with the art show here at CONvergence. So if you've seen some of the amazing art that they have in the art show, some of it might be yours. Is it? Not this year, but in the past it has been yours. It is Danielle. Let's hear it for Danielle. I also am going to point out that Danielle has a gallery. The Otherworldly Arts Collective runs the gallery, and it's in Minneapolis, 451 Taft Street, Northeast in Minneapolis, Suite 22. If you'd like to know about their upcoming exhibit, they have cards right here for you to take. Also some business cards, if you'd like to take. I have no problem pimping your stuff. So if anybody else has stuff to pimp, we will pimp it. Now, right next to Danielle, the first new artist that I know nothing about. I don't know what kind of pronouns, she, her, they, them. She, her, okay. Anna, let's hear it for Anna. What kind of art Anna does in about 15 minutes. And then right next to Anna, and I have this on my phone so I don't completely screw this up.
Great so far.
It's great. Is this one Greta?
Is this one?
Sorry.
This one is Greta.
I just met you. Next to Hannah we have Greta.
This one is Greta.
And then, next to Greta, we have Greta's friend, who got roped into this as well. It's Haley.
do?
This is my character.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Video game.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
cool.
So,
Want to go with theme.
okay, that's good. That's good. So, and later I hope we'll have an opportunity to learn a little bit more about your work, what you all do on your first time on our panel. I hope you have a good time. There is one more team, and they are veterans, and they haven't been here for a couple of years, which is a bit of a disappointment because, well, yeah, Melissa has, but you
Melissa's
don't.
always here.
You don't do it alone. You do not do this panel
Right.
alone.
And there's
You,
reasons.
you only do this. You only do this panel with Jerry. This is Melissa and Jerry. You may have at some point this weekend learned that Melissa, at the start of this convention, has participated in 242 panels over the course of all of the years of CONvergence. I think there was one year where she took off, and by taking off, I think she only did like 5 panels one year or something.
Yeah, she went light that year. It was honestly so disappointing. The convention really wasn't.
Yeah, it was pretty boring. But and that's before this convention started. By the time this convention
I
ends,
remember, I was
she
just
will
like-
have exceeded 300 panels. So that's right, 58 panels this weekend, more than we actually have slots for.
Anyone else feeling conflicted whether they should applaud or stage an intervention?
But here's the thing, Melissa and Jerry every year choose a different medium for their art. A few years back, it was pancakes. That was a delicious medium, except they didn't bring syrup. I don't know why not. But you haven't, I don't even understand what medium you're doing this year. Please explain to us what your medium is this year.
Very ill-advised 3D printer pens.
Spaghetti pens.
They're spaghetti.
Spaghetti pens.
Plastic spaghetti. This
so-
is how we make all of the microplastics. All of them. We are going to do so much pollution today.
This will be in your body by next con.
All right, so that sounds like sounds almost as ill-advised as the fuse beads here, but we'll find out. We'll find out.
Oh, I love the fuse beach here.
Yeah, that was great. So I
I think
think
we got one piece of art.
I think in my idea for the first challenge, it's going to be a 10-minute challenge, and it was actually from 2 of our new people, Greta and Hannah, were earlier talking about how they should draw their characters. And the only way you can do that is if you have a challenge in which you draw your characters. Therefore, my first challenge to you is you have 10 minutes to draw your player character, whatever that means to you, in whatever game that you would be playing. I need you to draw what your player character would be. So you have 10 minutes starting from right now, and right now is we're going to say 3:40 because it's going to be 3:40.
Are you going to set an alarm? I always need an alarm.
No, I'm not going to set an alarm. I'm just going to look at my clock because I understand that 10 minutes from 3:40 is 3:50.
Listen, that presupposes a lot of things going right for me.
So while they're drawing, Wendy and I are going to keep you occupied. And these conversations serve a couple of purposes. One, they drag the time out quite a bit. And 2, they give us the ideas for the next challenges because quite honestly, we have no idea what the next challenge is going to be.
He's in charge of the challenges. I'm the personality hire.
Yes, that is 100% true. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask Wendy and I about literally anything,
I'll make up the answer.
yeah, we will be happy to answer. We have a question, somebody who's been to one of our panels before. Hi, what's your question today? Perfect sandwich.
Perfect sandwich.
The perfect sandwich. I'm going to let you answer this first.
Okay, so there's this restaurant in Austin, and
There's
they
this
have
restaurant in Austin.
they have this whipped feta that they serve it to you like hummus, like with little crudités, right? And it's so great. But then I got a cheeseburger, and the cheeseburger had a delicious smoked cheddar on it. But then I added the whipped feta onto the smoked cheddar cheeseburger. Yo. Oh, yes. So I have lots of things I like to shove in my face hole, but that is on the top of the list right now.
Wait a minute, I have to answer the question, but I see you do have a question. So just we have to answer our question first because I have to answer my ideal sandwich. Ironically, I love
Does it
vegetables.
have pickles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but ironically, I love vegetables, but I don't love them on sandwiches. So my favorite sandwich tends to be a big old stack of meat. And I really like salami, so I like to have some salami in there for the kind of nice spice taste to it. A little bit of ham, a little bit of bacon. Bacon is great.
So not just one meat, literally a buffet.
all the meats, as many meats as I possibly can,
It's
stacked up
meats
high.
all the way down.
And I like it on really crusty bread. I like bread.
There's a vegetarian over here just cringing.
Well, I do put one piece of lettuce on it for the healthy aspect.
Yes, I'm sure that cuts it.
Yeah, the lettuce is there for the crunch. Anyway, so then
Diversity higher.
yeah. So then mustard is really important. I prefer any kind of mustard is good, but I prefer like sort of a spicy mustard. Is really tasty, and like I say, a really crusty, crunchy bread, or San Francisco sourdough, which also should be really crusty and crunchy, but crusty and crunchy
He
bread.
likes to work for his sandwich, that's what I
I yeah. I want to.
really chew into that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool.
So that's my ideal sandwich.
That
That's
is
Wendy's
nice.
ideal
That is-
sandwich.
okay, that is a good
Now we have
one.
either a question or somebody sharing their ideal sandwich. Either is okay. What is your question or ideal sandwich?
How
How often does
a
a turtle's heart beat? How often does a
I mean,
turtle's
I
heart beat?
can give an answer. Google
Is it-
will probably disagree with me.
Is it an African or European turtle? European turtle.
Once every 2 minutes.
I'm gonna say once every 6 minutes.
Once
Do you
every
know the
4
answer, or are you
seconds.
just wondering if we knew?
I'm just wondering.
Oh, okay.
All right, who's got Google and we'll look that up for all of us.
Okay. Somebody
Okay,
look.
what do you got?
Is a European turtle's heartbeat?
Well, let's go for a greenback turtle, just for the
Okay. 10 beats per minute. At near freezing temperature without oxygen, it can drop to 1 beat per minute.
So we were both super wrong.
Super
Is what-
wrong. Super wrong. Once
Sorry,
every 6
normally-
seconds.
Now you know. I'm sorry. What was your
I
name?
did math there, did we notice?
Linus? Okay, well now you know, Linus. For a greenback turtle, and I imagine different turtles have different heartbeats, but for a greenback turtle,
It's a-
10 beats per minute,
It
or,
was a red-eared slider that it was
Oh, yeah.
answered.
never mind, for a
Red
red-eared
slider.
slider. For a red-eared slider, okay. We have a question here for them from the green asterisk, or it could refer to something else.
That's not
Sorry, not
green.
green, it's pink.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, Tim, are you going colorblind?
I guess I am. What is my
Oh,
favorite
good
movie?
God.
I know, my favorite
He
movie
knows
is
his
easy.
favorite movie.
Do you know your favorite movie?
Duh.
Say yours first. I want you to admit it to a crowd of people.
It's not admitting I'm proud of it.
Good, then go for it. Be proud of it.
Xanadu,
You see?
Xanadu.
Now we are here.
Xanadu. Listen, roller skating. Olivia Newton-John, the best movie soundtrack. That soundtrack slaps. Everybody agrees, even the haters agree that soundtrack slaps, right? Michael Beck from The Warriors, it killed his career. That's how. Don Bluth, amazing animated sequence. When I show it to friends, they're like, "Why are they birds now?" It's so great. And an ending number that literally, the only thing it's missing is the kitchen sink. And did I mention Gene Kelly? And he twinkles his way through it and does a little tap number 2. If you
Right
think
before
Xanadu,
he
you
died.
have no love in your heart.
It was his last role
The movie
before
that
he
killed
died.
Gene Kelly.
The movie that killed him. Also, Olivia Newton-John, who is on roller skates for most of the movie and clearly cannot roller skate.
Cannot roller skate at all.
Yeah.
But they got Peggy Fleming to help with the choreography.
Oh, that's
on
nice.
that. BT Dubs. I know a lot about this. Also, the reason they got the choreographer that they got, which is Danny Ortega, who of course went on to direct or choreograph for Dirty Dancing, among other things, that launched his career. It did because he was the choreographer for the Tubes. concerts, which is why the Tubes are in the movie. And they were like, this guy seems good, what of him? And then they were like, well, we want Gene Kelly, and he said no. And they were like, okay, Denny Ortega, who's never done anything and has no cred, go talk to famous film icon, dance legend Gene Kelly and convince him to do our weird roller disco space fantasy with muses movie. And he did. He went in there, and by the end of their little confab, they pushed back all the furniture and were dancing together as they started to workshop what they might do in the numbers. And Gene Kelly became Kenny Ortega's mentor.
Until he died. Shortly after making
He
this
lives
movie.
forever in my heart.
All right,
Jesus.
artists, you have approximately 5 minutes left. Artists, they are, once again, I'm reminding you, drawing.
Jeez, Tim, what is your favorite movie?
I will, in just a second. They're once again drawing their favorite, or no, their own personal player character.
Yeah.
My favorite movie, I have no problem. My favorite movie is Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I consider to be basically a perfect movie. I can almost recite it from memory. It's very obnoxious when I'm watching it. I have several stories about this movie. I'm gonna reduce it to one. Many years ago, when we were talking about panels, and Christopher and I were still on the board, and at that time we were all very involved in trying to make shit happen at the convention and trying to make the convention be what we thought the personality of the convention should be. So if you hate it, our fault. Anyway, and Chris is like, we ought to do something with science fiction pets. And he's like, with Crypto the dog, and with Hello Kitty, and he's like, whatever the name of the snake was, and the plane at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I said, Reggie. He's like, of course you knew that.
Of course you knew that.
Of course you knew that, which is why my email address and literally every username I have on the internet is PetSnakeReggie. Because I'm the only person that knows that. I'm the only person with that username. I've never had to do PetSnakeReggie1.
I'm just saying, you're not the only person who knows it now.
Well, that's true, but it's too late because I'm already there before you. But the best thing that ever happened as a result of that was when my eldest son, who is now 25 and who was in my wife's womb at CONvergence 1999, which was our first convention. So he's been attending as long as we have. He's in junior high, and we go to meet his science teacher, and his science teacher and I have emailed back and forth. And the first thing he says when I walk in is he's like, PetSnakeReggie, that's from Raiders of the Lost Ark, isn't it? And I'm like, you're okay. So that's my favorite movie. I don't know that we have basically a minute left. So I don't think we have time for another question. Think about your questions.
I could just keep singing the theme song to Raiders.
Dun, 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 dun. I did a podcast about Raiders of the Lost Ark, and one of the questions on the podcast was, how much of the theme song do you know?
Jesus Christ,
Joseph. It was Joseph.
the whole damn thing.
I did the whole thing. It's half the podcast. No, it's not.
It's one of John Williams' most iconic scores.
You're right. It is.
No, but it's catchy AF too.
It is catchy AF, just like the score of Xanadu. So we have something in common.
Yes, that's definitely what makes those two movies go together.
Xanadu has wheels. Raiders of the Lost Ark has wheels.
Absolutely.
Xanadu has gods. Raiders of the Lost Ark has a god.
Whatever is in the ark.
Whatever's in the ark. They're great.
I have a headcanon that what is in the ark, like that whole thing, that ain't God. Like that's just some serious Cthulhu thing. And there's just been a whole misunderstanding, right? And like, yeah.
What we're determining is they're basically the same movie. Wendy is mine, and my favorite movie is the same movie. So, high five on that. And I think we're going to say our time is up. Final touches. And I'm going to point out before we reveal the art, this art is going to be auctioned off later at the at the art auction. Not Melissa and Jerry's. No. It's gonna be auctioned off at the art auction. All the proceeds from these arts from these
I mean, it's a plural.
from these works is going to go to GPS, so it's all for charity. And what you do is you bid on the collection of art. So I think what they do is they basically, they take bids, and then the highest bid gets first choice of the collections of art, and then the second highest bid gets second choice, and so on.
collections.
It is everything that they draw during this panel.
One
So,
person, so
Yeah.
and like, so all of the art that Jones drew, all of the art that Danielle drew.
Right.
Yes.
And so you get for perhaps the first time, have any of you sold art before?
Yes.
The first time that Greta and Haley have ever sold art, and they're not going to get a dime from it because it's for charity. But you're still selling art, and that's a start. Yeah, exactly.
Paid an experience.
Get used to it.
My band has been getting paid in exposure for years. I know how it feels. Okay, so we're going to start over here with Chris because he is obviously one of the most experienced at doing this panel. Mr. Jones, what have you drawn for us today? And then Wendy will run around and show everybody.
Well, as much as I was tempted to do something Connie related, I thought that was too obvious, and you're probably going to be seeing Connie from me later. I can't imagine.
What?
It's true.
Okay.
So actually, back when I was role playing, I was in a DC Comics game, and long before the comics had brought the deceased Robin Jason Todd back from the dead, I came up with a character that, remarkably similar way to what they ended up doing in the comics, brought him back from the dead and had him be a mysterious masked figure that Batman didn't originally realize this was Jason Todd. And his costume was really simple, but it had a twist I really loved. Simple black bodysuit with a red R that looked like a chess piece, and he went by the name Rook. And the reason I loved that is that Batman is called the Dark Knight.
Oh.
Rook is not only a chess piece, it's also the name of a bird.
Oh, that's very clever.
I am, all these years later.
All right, nice. All right, Danielle, second most experienced member of the panel. And what can you tell us about your drawing?
Mine is from my D&D character called Fish Sticks Ferrari.
Fish Sticks Ferrari.
Fish Sticks Ferrari.
It looks like maybe a druid?
Yep.
Yeah.
And she's a super annoying tree hugger that wants to say everything that she can't.
Okay, so we have a super annoying tree hugger druid elf. I think this is an elf. Or a half elf? Elf. It's an elf. And I'll give this to Wendy and just vamp for a minute. So that is, there we go. And next we have Anna. Your first drawing at Art Impossible. Oh my God. So tell us a little bit about what you drew.
So this is a velociraptor, feathered as they should be. But she's got a right there, a side shape. I guess, I don't know. I've never had a character, so I like dinosaurs.
All right, you like dinosaurs. So your character is a velociraptor, feathered, historically speaking. So there we go.
Listen, I can only walk so fast.
I know, because you've got those little legs. And
Just spin it as fast
So
as
are
they can.
Jurassic Park velociraptors scientifically inaccurate, or do they just have like dinosauraptors?
oh, Christopher Jones, are Jurassic Park velociraptors scientifically inaccurate? Yes, they are.
I know, man.
I love the hair. What's that?
It's her hair.
It is her hair.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm still on the underdog.
Greta, and I did not ask your pronouns. What are your pronouns?
Any.
Any. All right. Greta, they. I'm going to use they just because I have to practice using they anyway. Tell us about your character.
We had already been talking about drawing each other's characters since we'd already been doodling them, so it only seemed to make sense that both of us draw the characters that we're cosplaying today. So
Okay.
I sketched out mine, which I thought was very fun because I like the silhouette that he has, and I thought it would be very interesting.
Okay. That's a nice one too.
What game is this from?
Little Nightmares.
Little Nightmares. Okay.
Nice.
I love games where the details are so heavy, everything looks gross,
What?
and the main characters are so adorable
Yeah.
versus everything else, which is just so repulsive. And it just brings out why to love the heroines and why to not like everything else. And it raises so many questions. And I think there is truly a skill to making something look gross, because you can make something look weird, but you just have to add so much line work to make something truly disgusting.
All right, well, that's an idea for a drawing later, maybe. Maybe. All right, Haley, and I haven't asked your pronouns. What are your pronouns?
I'm she, they.
She, they, okay. Haley, what have you drawn for us in this first challenge?
I also drew a character that I'm cosplaying from Little Nightmares.
Okay.
I'm 6.
You're 6.
Yep, that's my name. Because we're all numbered. The characters are all numbered.
So this is 6 from Little Nightmares. Okay. All right. And then, of course, once we, well, I don't think we'll be able to pass these around because you might absorb them into your skin, at least based on what. You're not done yet, Jerry.
I just make notes.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, that's what we always do.
And then we have the weird stuff. That's right, we have whatever Melissa and Jerry have produced for us.
Melissa?
I made a meatball, and it's dressed like me today because I'm still trying to figure this, how to work this thing. But I was just at Hell's Kitchen. I ate a really big caramel roll, so there's my really big caramel roll. There.
Okay. Thank you. And Jerry?
This is my meeple, except there's a second meeple on my back that gets stuff for me from the backpack, and also I have a parrot.
Okay, I'm just gonna for the camera, and then I'll let Winnie take these around so you all can see this bizarro, whatever the hell they're doing. I don't know. I don't know. It might not be. So, all right. I please give everybody a round of applause for their first work. Y'all did really great. If you remember, to write on the back what the challenge was, just write it in pencil or something. Just to make it easier for people to know what we were doing here today. I always forget to tell you to do that, so most years people get their art, and 5 years later they probably pull it out of whatever they stuck it in at the end of the convention, and they're like, what the fuck is this? There's going to be swearing on this panel, I'm sorry. Just so you know,
Listen, it's just going to happen.
Wendy and I cannot stop ourselves. So I do have a second challenge, and this challenge I have been thinking about a little bit because we do try to do at least one challenge that has something to do with the convention theme. And this year's convention theme is gaming, or games, a little bit of both. So it feels like a good time to design a CONvergence-themed game. So that's what I'm going to ask our artists to do.
Okay.
Yeah, they need to come up with a CONvergence-themed game. Now, it can be a video game, it can be a board game, it can be a mind game, it can be any definition.
An RPG, role-playing game.
It could be an RPG.
Yeah.
It could absolutely be an RPG. And we're going to give you some more time for this. I think we're going to give you 20 minutes to design your own game. I don't need rules. You don't have to provide rules. We just need to know what this is a concept drawing.
Yeah.
It's somebody else's job to come up with the rules.
It's what shows up at 1 a.m. in the commercial, new from K-Tel.
Yeah.
That image.
This is like what you put on the Kickstarter before you've actually figured out how the game works. It's like you go out there and you ask for money saying, we're going to do a game, and it looks like this, and everybody's like, damn, that looks amazing, and they don't worry about how it plays. It doesn't matter. They just are like, this is the CONvergence game that I've wanted all my life.
All my life.
All my life. So yes, again, must be a CONvergence game. Now, what that means to you is entirely up to you. Entirely up to you what a CONvergence game means.
It could be a drinking game.
It could be a drinking game. It's 4 o'clock on the dot, so 20 minutes from now it's 4:20.
Okay, good for you. I'm glad you know that.
Or I could set an alarm if you prefer.
You're doing fine. I'm glad that works for you.
Thanks, Wendy. Okay, so at this point then, we will open up.
Okay. So a CONvergence game, let's consider the parameters. So there might be different characters. What characters might you play in a CONvergence game? Let's say it's like Clue. Not even RPG, but like a game like Clue, right? Where you have characters that you're, Colonel Mustard or whatever. What characters might you find at CONvergence? Yeah.
The entire CONvergence.
Okay.
That's a lot of characters to play in a game.
Wait, did you mention I've lost it.
Wandering hosts.
Back there? The banana check-in.
The bananas.
The banana badger. The banana badger. Who here doesn't know about the banana badger? Okay, this is lore. This is lore, convergence lore. There was a point many a year ago where somebody was badging at one of the badging stations. So those are the people that check that you have your badge, and we love them very much. But somebody was like, oh, my shift is done. And they called down, and they were like, nobody's here to take over. And they're like, it's fine, just go ahead and leave it, we'll send somebody up. But this person didn't feel right just leaving it unattended. So they put down their banana and wrote a little sign that said, please show badge to banana. And of course, everyone did.
We are nerds, we follow rules.
And with glee and joy, and in fact it became a very popular badging station as people made sure they wanted to come by to get badged by the banana. So there is your convergence lore. So yes, you could play as the banana badger. Who else might you play as?
Party Room Zombie.
Party Room Zombie, I love it. What other characters do we find at Convergence? Yes?
Inflatable dinosaur.
Inflatable dinosaur, I love it.
We find a lot of
Something
those.
over here? Yeah?
Connie Mark
Connie Mark
Oh,
too.
Connie Mark too. I've heard of her.
Is she a player character or is she the villain of the game? The villain of the game, I agree. That's a good choice.
Sure.
Yes. What else? Who else is at con? Come on, there's 4,000 plus people here. Like, we have other characters. Nobody has said cosplayers. Are you kidding me? Look at you.
Well,
Look
we have
around
hands
you.
up over here. They might have been about to say it. What's your answer? Nerf herders.
I like that you're all going like for the official stuff, not for like people like you.
I bet this person is a nerf herder, and that's why they brought it up. No, never mind. Okay. All right.
A convergent.
A
Yes.
CONvergent. Anybody here first time convention? All right. Woo, woo, welcome. So glad to see you. I hope it's not your last time. I hope that you have a great time. There is actually something that I want to talk about with all of you later about the convention, and actually really serious stuff that I and especially
Oh
new
great,
people.
it's a business meeting. I'm so glad.
Oh, shut up! Shut up!
This could have been an email. All right, so we're playing the game of convergence. What are some of the actions that might occur during this game of convergence? Yes?
This could be either a character or an action.
Smothing?
Smoff. Okay, that's a tricky one. How many people here know what smoffing is?
Or better yet, who's like, what the heck is smothing?
Yeah, that's how we all felt when we started this convention. And it's one of the reasons we started this convention, because as much as fandom is amazing and as much as we love fans, what they do, and especially in the early days when they were like kind of the outcasts, is they developed a secret language unto themselves to be kind of cool, I guess.
Exclusive.
A little exclusive, but the problem that it became is if you weren't involved in that group that founded all of this stuff, you had to like ask the questions of what does this all mean? And for the people of my generation, of Wendy's generation, of Christopher's generation, that was just annoying because we're like, we just want to go to a convention and have a good time. We don't want to worry about all this language.
Yeah, honestly, it was gatekeeping.
It's
It's another word for gatekeeping. It's like, well, if you don't know these secret passwords and the shibboleth, then you're not a real fan. And it's like, I beg your pardon, I read the Silmarillion for fun.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I don't even want to imply that that was the intent of it, but that's the way it felt as you're coming into this and you're feeling like you've got to pass all these tests just to be part of this community. And so SMOF stands for Secret Master of Fandom.
Which, in realistic terms, what he's talking about, smoffing, because the way it gets used now, is just people who run conventions stand around and talk to each other about how conventions are run.
Yeah.
It's super exciting, but we can't help ourselves.
Yeah, that is accurate. Smoffing is talking around, sitting around and talking about the minutiae of running the con at the con, when you could just be enjoying the damn con.
But we can't help ourselves.
We can't stop ourselves. There's a comment or question or what? Oh, that is a
could
good
be a
one.
good penalty action.
Yeah, a penalty action. Going into a badged area without a badge.
Trying to get past a badger without your badge. Ooh, ask me how many times I've left my room without my badge this con.
Really, how many times have you left your room
Ask me
without
what floor my room is on and how great that's been for me. Yeah. I have spent a lot of time waiting for the elevator so far this
So
con.
that would be another good action, waiting for the elevator.
Waiting for the elevator.
Waiting for the
right?
elevators, that's
elevator
lose a turn.
encounters.
Yes.
Waiting for an elevator,
Like you
lose
could
a
get-
turn.
You could get like a bonus elevator encounter where you randomly run into the guest of honor in the elevator and they like give you like some magical, here's my book signed just because you're here.
So I have an activity that is from this year
Oh.
that could happen to you at the convention in this game. Is there could be somebody standing at the top of the elevator telling you to be careful
Of the seaweed.
because they spilled seaweed.
I told him that I expected him to be cosplaying that next
Yeah.
year.
He's like,
Wear the seaweed.
look out for the seaweed. That's all he was doing, standing at the top of the escalator saying, look out for the seaweed.
I don't understand why we couldn't pick up the seaweed, but I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, I don't know if he was waiting for a break in the crowd
There's not gonna be a break in the crowd.
to clean up the seaweed, or anyway. So that's the convergence.
The escalator,
2025.
riding the escalators is one of the weirdly most fun things at the con. Now that we don't have the central court where we could just sort of walk around and look, I feel like people ride the escalators to just be like, who's on the
Hey!
escalator? Oh, hey, let's go. They're going down,
What
they're
would make
going
that scooter
right.
work on the escalator if I took it at speed?
What other actions might we take, like players take during this game of convergence?
Line maintenance.
Line maintenance, love it. Do they take a shower? I feel like if you take taking a shower earns you like money or something, like points.
Then here we have a great answer. Ribbon collecting.
Ribbon collecting. Back here? Oh yeah, pass CONsuite, collectible
Oh my
rice.
God, bowl of rice, that sounds so good. Okay,
Dude, you gotta eat.
I will eventually.
That's, okay, eventually the weekend will be over, so I
I
guess it's
will,
time.
I will eat it, I will. I swear, I promise. Anything else, any activities?
Yeah. Oh, nice. Go to the art show, gain inspiration.
Are you an artist? Do you want to be an artist?
You
We're
can
all
be like
amateurs.
me and
Some
walk
of us
in
are just
like-
amateurs that get paid.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
I walked into the art show a few years back and somebody had done a lovely display, 3D printed the Rings of Power, right, from The Lord of the Rings, right, the 3 elven rings of power.
Oh, those rings of power.
Yeah, not the one ring, the other 3.
Yeah, no, I
The
know
other-
what you-
Yeah, because like we want the elven rings, and they were lovely and they were color coded, but I was just standing there being like, they don't have gems in them. I'm sorry, but they don't have. And then I walked away because I am kind and I do not say these things out loud. In the moment, I wait a couple of years and I share it with you.
Hopefully that artist isn't in the room.
But I'm sorry if you're a big Lord of the Rings fan and you know about the 3 elven rings and you want to make them, I don't understand how you didn't get the gems in there. There's the red gem and the blue gem and the white gem. Thank you very much, because there's the one of anime and anyway.
And once again, she's read the Silmarillion.
For fun.
For fun.
Many times.
But that's another activity you might have in a convergence board game. Staying up late enough to see the sunrise.
Yes. I feel like there's a function in the game where you earn points for not sleeping, but you also earn points for sleeping, like depending on the context.
There was a point where I made it my goal each year to get $1 from a guest of honor. And the reason I did that is because one year, Brian Keene, who's a horror author who's been a guest of honor a couple of times, was sitting up and I was sitting up and it was getting late. It was Sunday night. I was tired. I was thinking I was gonna go to bed. And somebody's like, oh, Tim's falling asleep. He's going to bed pretty soon. I'm like, no, I'm going to bed. And I'm like, look at Brian. He's ready to go to bed. And Brian's like, I can out awake you anytime, Wick. And I'm like, you want to bet? And he's like, yeah, I'll bet you. Huh? I'll bet you $1. I'm like, okay, it's on. And so for the next several hours that I know we both wanted to be asleep, we were walking around that convention and we were like,
For $1.
for $1. It was like, I don't know, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning or something stupid like that. Brian's like, all right, you just handed me $1 and you went to bed. I was like, woohoo! And then I went to bed, but I made sure he was in his room before I went to bed.
Oh yeah, that key, he was a tricky one.
He was
Smart.
a tricky one. All right, what else?
I don't know if this has been said already, but taking a picture with a cool cosplay?
Oh,
Taking a picture.
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I like it, yes. Oh,
Artists,
here-
by the way, you have about 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can level up with volunteers when suddenly you access.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
You earn more the more hours you volunteer.
It's true.
Sandbox crafts.
Oh, sandbox.
crafts.
Oh, sandbox becomes the place you go to solve your problems. So like, oh, I don't have duct tape. What just happened to my costume?
I've gone to Sandbox the last 2 years because I left my 3-hole punch at home.
Yeah, of course you did.
I did, but they, you know what they have in Sandbox? 3-hole punches. It's great.
What? Is one of their activities like putting together presentations?
I assume one of their activities actually uses all the little holes that get punched out of paper.
Ah, that makes more sense.
I assume that's what it is.
I just like the idea of these 8-year-olds like showing up for an activity. It's like, please put together our marketing presentation for Monday. Hey, have a good time, kids.
Anything else that should be on CONvergence Events?
Costume wars? Nice.
Costume wars.
Actually, I am now picturing like literal cosplayers warring in the hallways like West Side Story. Like you get the water vendors and the fire vendors and they meet up and it's absolute mayhem and they have to bring in the wandering hosts and it's like, oh no, I'm not, the nerf herders are organizing the line of everybody who just wants to watch.
Yeah, that'd be great. Ironically, I've never been to Costume Wars. You've probably never participated in Costume Wars.
I have not.
You would kill at Costume Wars.
I also feel like a bit of a ringer.
I don't want to do Costume Wars. I'd be too good at it.
Well, I specialize in non-traditional ways of getting things done, is the thing. So I made my friend Lori 3 Loxana costumes for this week, and she commissioned me to make those for her. She's down in the dealer's room, and she's wearing a different one every day. And it's been a delight because Loxana is a fashion icon. So one of the outfits has the classic Trek, weird boot cutout, right? And the fabric is a stretchy sequin thing. And I had reinforced it with buckram, right, and done a little bit of other work to make sure that the shape stayed solid, but once it got on her, the vertical there was pulling because it's right at the shoulder. And it was bothering me, apparently more than I realized, because I looked at it, saw it, and went, it is what it is, it's fine. And then when I woke up the next morning, earlier than I wanted to, my brain was like, hey, but here's how we can solve that. And so I woke up and I was like, what I need is something like a little pencil. And I turned to my husband and I said, I might need you to go to maybe Michael's and get like a little dowel. And Chris went, wait, there are little coffee stir sticks here in the room. And he pulls out this little, it's tiny and it's wooden and it was exactly the right length, and because of how I had reinforced it, there was already a little channel, and so all I had to do was just snip it at the top and slide that little stir stick in, and it worked. And I was so pleased with myself. Clearly, because I'm still talking about it.
Yes. It's
Listen.
very clear. You're very pleased with yourself. Was that the outfit she was wearing during Vilification?
Yes, the gold.
Very sharp looking. That was
If
good.
you take the skirt off, she looks like a Bond villain. Because it's just this gold jumpsuit all the way down.
I couldn't help but look at it and go, wow, I'm amazed you managed to do that without getting it to pull right there.
Yeah. Because of a stir stick.
I did. I said, what did she use to do that?
I have used pirate hooks as horns for Loki. I have used bananas as horns on a different helmet.
Bananas again.
Listen, bananas are a really useful shape for a lot of things, and not just because I do the erotica panel.
5 minutes left, artists. 5 minutes.
You gave me a microphone. It's your fault.
It's true. I do it every year and regret it. every year.
At least one point or another.
At least
It's
at
true.
one.
Oh,
Yes?
no, but we were talking about a convergence game.
Yeah.
I like your slippers. What are they?
I don't know.
What are you wearing this season?
More than likely, it's one color.
But they're
Acorn?
with coffee stirrers, which is strange.
They're held together with hopes and dreams alone.
It says acorn.
I mean,
They're
honestly, yeah. How many years have you had those?
Oh, these are probably only about a year old. I wear slippers out like nobody's business. So
Yeah, I know.
So yeah,
No,
these are.
those do look nice.
Yeah,
Good
my
call,
copy.
nice catch.
That's why I was like, I'm not going to wear shoes at CONvergence this year. I'm wearing slippers.
I mean, Lord knows I did for the first.
It's because I'm old.
I was known for the first many a year at CONvergence for wearing bunny slippers the whole con.
There's a great story. Our second year, we were the 1 year we were at the Radisson St. Paul, which was horrible.
The
It was-
Radisson of Satan.
The hotel itself wasn't that bad, except for when we had a horrible rainstorm, and it literally rained inside the hotel.
Although it was a beautiful water feature, it's just that it was unplanned.
It was, yeah. But the hotel treated us like absolute crap. Absolute crap. And one of the things they did is they claimed that we didn't make our room block. Well, we knew we made our room block because we had all the records of everybody that we submitted
And how
to
we
them
had allocated
to have a
their
room.
rooms.
So we were
Because
like,
we allocated rooms individually.
yeah, so we were like, prove to us, and they were like 100 room nights. It was a ridiculous amount. We're like, there's no way this is possible. Can you show us your records? And so they printed out their records, and we're like, okay, there's this person that I know has a room, and this person that I know has a room, and this person that I know has a room that is not on this list. What's going on? Oh, well, we did something wrong, and they went and printed something in. And we went through this like 10 times over the course of the weekend, and the result every time was a different number. And it's not like it went up every time either. Sometimes it would go dramatically down. Like sometimes we'd have, one printout would have 400 room nights, and we'd be like, no, that's still wrong. And they'd come back and it would have 50 room nights. And we'd say, you don't know what the F you're talking about. And they'd be like, yes, we do. You don't have enough people at the hotel. We're going to charge you all this extra money because you didn't fill your room block. So anyway, it was absolute shit-tastic to be on the board. The worst year I've ever had being on the board of CONvergence.
So one of the things that we organized was each one of us took turns to be the board on call. So if we needed a board person to come in and make a call or be present. And I happened to be the board person when the call came through, we need a board person to come down here because we are arguing with the front desk. And so I went into the back hotel operational area. I'm like, hey, I'm your board person. What's going on? They're like this, and this, and here's their list. Here's our list, and this is the discrepancy. And I'm like, okay, well that's absolute nonsense. Let's go. And so we went up to the front desk of this hotel in like this flying militaristic V formation of very angry people.
With Whitney at the point.
And went up there and I'm like, this is what's going on, and this is nonsense, and you are going to solve it, and you're not going to play this game anymore. And they were like, okay, we'll get back to you. And I'm like, you will. And we walked back to the room, and Ishmael looked down and went, oh my God, you were wearing your bunny slippers the other day. Yes, and I do it again.
If slippers are good enough for Grand Moff Target, they can be good enough for you.
Exactly. Or for Chris Knight.
We have about a minute left, artists. About a minute left in your time to produce your
Let's all
CONvergence
pause
game.
to contemplate. A minute.
Let's all pause to contemplate Wendy storming up to the front desk in her bunny slippers.
And the shortest person.
Yes,
Shortest person.
tiny little person is storming.
The one thing that would have made it better is if the bunny slippers had speakers on them.
The follow-on from that story is because I was on the board and I had a room where the carpet was wet the entire weekend because of this water. And I called down and I said, the carpet in my room is wet. And their answer was to literally just send up a guy with towels.
Yeah.
So when I went down to check out, I was like, I would like a discount on my room because the carpet was wet all weekend. And they were like, why didn't you ask for another room? And I'm like, because there are no other rooms available in this hotel, which is what they kept telling us when we were trying to get rooms for our people. They're like, I'm like, because there were no other rooms available. And they're like, yes, there were. And if you could have seen what happened on their face when I stood up straighter and went, I'm on the board for this convention and you've been telling me, all of us, all weekend long, there are no rooms available. Let me get my manager. I bet you want to right now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The end of that story, and then we're going to reveal art, is the hotel insisted we did not make our room block, and they were going to charge us like $80,000 of whatever they call that, the penalty fee for not making your room block. We absolutely disputed it. We had all these printouts of that they didn't know how many rooms we'd actually filled, but we were in dispute with them for years. It took 5 years. And finally, what happened was, they're like, they took us to an arbitrator to settle it. And Pat, who was our head of finance at the time and had all the records, went into this arbitrator, laid out everything we had, and the arbitrator went to them and said, yeah, you're gonna settle for nothing. We had all the evidence they were wrong, but they, for 5 years, were coming after this little con that did not have the money they wanted. Because they were pissed about it.
They took the contract and they were like, oh my God, there are all these nerds. They literally were turning off the air conditioning in the party rooms, turning off the automatic doors so people would just walk into the glass. I am not kidding, that's how petty they were.
And then years later, they came back to us and they're like, what can we do to get you to come back to our hotel?
So good.
Yeah, it was great. Okay, so we are going to have the reveal now. Artists, I'm going to let you put your finishing touches on it, but I'm not, because we started with Chris the last time. I don't want to start with Christopher every time. So let's start with Anna right here in the middle. Anna, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you came up with for your CONvergence game?
So I want a little caveat, I'm not a game designer.
Neither are we.
We're a concept artist. So it's an elevator, and there's this little stack of cards next to it, and if you pull the right card, you know where the paper goes.
Yes, that is a very good. It's a very good CONvergence game. All right, Greta, why don't you let us know about your CONvergence game?
Okay, this is based on a game that I attempt to play every year and always fail. It's where you try not to buy everything and try not to take every ribbon and try not to fill your pockets with everything inside of the con. I call it con craze. It's basically self-control the game.
Self-control the game. And you apparently don't do well at this game. Is that what I'm understanding? Oh.
No. I'm not very good at financial wellness, the game. No.
That's all right. None of the rest of us are. We wouldn't be running a science fiction convention. All right, Haley, why don't we take a look at what you've got for us? What's your game? Tell us about it.
Mine's not very creative, but do you guys know the game Job Simulator on VR?
Job Simulator on VR?
Yeah, I did an art seller simulator. So you have your own booth, and basically you have to sell your art, and you can create your own art and price it, and then you have to deal with angry customers or thieves, steal from your stalls.
VR art booth? I like that.
This is a recreational activity.
Yeah, this is something you do for fun, Chris. Like you do that for fun. Yeah. How's your time you spent at your table this morning in the
better than yesterday.
Oh, well, better than yesterday. Well, that's good. Danielle, why don't you tell us about what your game is?
My game at con that I always lose is sleep.
Oh.
We were talking about it earlier, but this is trying to find the best sleep with the big pile of pillows and Totoro because the con is always leaving. So, and you're missing out.
The game of sleep. And so if you sleep, do you win or do you lose?
Yes.
I mean, a little. More now that I'm the age I am than I used to, but less than I definitely should. That's for sure. So this is the game of sleep. And then Christopher Jones, what have you created for us in your game?
You want CONvergence to be part of your gaming experience, but why limit that to one game when you can bring the spirit of CONvergence to every dice-based game you play with a random die roll generator Connie head. There's a little thing on the deck that allows you to adjust what sided die you're rolling for, and you slap it on the head, and then the numbers appear in the eyes.
See that? That's actually a good idea. It's like actually something that if somebody from merch was here, they'd be like, how do we manage to get one of those made?
Make sure merch sees this.
Well, I'll let them know to be at the art auction, I guess. So yes, we have a Connie die roll generator, and as Christopher Jones promised, he has drawn Connie at this panel. Not too much of a surprise there.
Yeah.
Now, Wendy's still showing things around, and I've given Jerry and Melissa as much time as possible to finish what they're doing, and I doubt that they have. But,
Is there really a finish?
we are going to say that you're done, whatever that means.
Yeah, sure.
Melissa, tell us about your game.
We're going together.
I think we should do this together.
Yeah. So it's called Chum Ball, CONvergence Chum Ball.
So we have, did we decide this is Chris Cluey now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So my meeple and turned into Chris Cluey. And he's kicking
See the action lines.
action lines, kicking. Did we decide that's a football?
It's a ball.
It's a ball. It's
so he can't kick other shaped balls?
I suppose not.
Jeez, it's a range.
So we have a flag that is some sort of gold here.
Yeah.
And
He did not make it. It's got a round ball.
The thing I love about what I'm hearing is I don't want to speak for the process of any other artist up here, but I decide what I'm going to draw, and I draw a thing. I love that you guys made a thing and then tried to decide whether it was going to
Yeah. I mean, this is okay. There's the reward is a little bowl of rice,
And this fine trophy.
and we have sharks. There's sharks.
Oh, because Chum Ball, you stand on like a foam platform in the pool, right? They put a couple sharks in the pool. Now, the longer you can manage to stay up there, the easier it'll be to deal with the sharks because they're dying of chlorine. But they have poured chum in the water, so they're going to be nudging this float while you're trying to kick it in there. And there's a die.
Yeah, it's a six-sided die, but it's a challenge because
It looks a little like it might be balanced improperly.
it's not like one of those casino dies that are pitted to, as we all learned. But it does roll. It looks like a lobster trap.
Also coming to the merch department in 2026.
Lobster trap dies.
And I accidentally made a carrot.
I've never seen a blue carrot.
They give them
Yeah, it's a blue carrot.
I'm in the top of this.
tools with electricity. I'm sure everything is going to be fine.
This will not be for sale at the art auction or anywhere, but if anybody wants to take any of these pieces that they've created home, I believe you're welcome to. As a souvenir from Art Impossible, and if at any point you're like, I really want the Chris Cluey people kicking the irregularly shaped ball that's not a football, you can have it. You can have it.
Frighten your friends, confuse your neighbors.
Please.
All right, I think we need a speed round. Yeah, we need a 5-minute speed round. No. I like that, and maybe we'll do that in a minute. But I think they need a little more time for that. But 5-minute speed round is, and you get to talk to the audience for the whole time. Yeah, because the 5-minute speed round, because we've been talking about food a lot. So your 5-minute speed round is the ultimate snack. The ultimate snack for con.
For con.
Your ultimate con snack. Whatever that is, you have 5 minutes to draw that for us while I go get a bowl of rice. Okay.
Done. You're in charge of the time, so if you're late, that's not...
4:30, you got until 4:35, right?
Does he come there with his clock? What a fool.
Did these guys get volunteer hours for doing
actually get volunteer hours for sitting panels.
That's a racket.
Yeah. So for every panel that you sit, for every hour of that panel, you get volunteer hours.
Well, dang, you gotta talk to volunteers.
Yeah, because I mean, we can't have a panel if people don't show up to sit down, and we need those people to have good panels. And a lot of people do a lot of research, and Melissa with her stuff is.
Not today, notwithstanding.
Yeah, well, this doesn't count, but like, you know, PowerPoint karaoke and SmackDown and all of the things, and the Killer Bees, that takes a lot. I know when I sit panels, I frequently just show up and do what I'm doing right now, but sometimes I do research and come with notes. It has been known to happen. So the topic is apparently snacks, but I don't want to talk about that. They're going to draw it anyway. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, what?
Who was your favorite guest of honor?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's tough. We've had so many good ones.
Top 5.
Okay,
Objection, biased question.
I'm totally biased. It's my bias, and I will tell. Well, I'm biased towards the guests that keep coming back because those are the ones that I end up creating relationships with. Our NASA scientist, our JPL scientist, Bridget Landry. She's a brilliant costumer and an absolute delight. In fact, I've known Bridget so long and she's come to so many cons, I invited her to my 50th birthday and she came. So, I mean, obviously. Chris Jones doesn't count, so BT Dubs, you're not on the list. Because the year he was a guest of honor was actually a pain in my ass because I depended on him to do a lot of stuff and he was unavailable, and I'm kind of salty about it.
But there are stories about that year.
Well, there are many a story about that year. We kid because we've known each other forever. Let's see.
Who of the few board members who knew each other before?
Yeah.
I guess not a few. There's a misconception that those of us that helped start the con had been friends for years and decided to start the con together. Most of us met through starting the con.
Yeah, it was a whole bunch of people who were like, this needs to happen. You seem like you're a little bit more put together than the others, so I'll talk to you. Like, it really was like that. Let's see, Jesus, there's been so many. Greg Weissman, for sure. It tends to be the people that I like will answer me when I email them. Lee Harris, Paul Cornell, Miss Jane and Paul, of course. That's 5, but like I could keep going. Brian Keane, even if I haven't talked to him in a while, he was a delight.
Michael.
Oh God, Michael Sheard, of course, and Peter Mayhew. Oh my God, and Mercedes Lackey was a hoot and a half. The year that we had 20 guests of honor, that was insanity. That was, the best part of that year is, this was an in-joke for the board. For year 10, we invited 20 guests, and they were all returning guests. So we were celebrating 10 years, and we brought back all of our favorites, right? And one new person, which was Patrick Mark who?
Mark Evanier.
Was it Mark Evanier?
Mark Evanier.
Yeah, it's Mark Evanier. And so as they stood up on the stage at the end, and they were like saying goodbye and saying, I had such a wonderful time. And Mark Evanier said something about like, I didn't even realize that this was a thing until like Saturday. And the way the other guests looked at him, and somebody was like, rookie mistake.
No. What it was is he said at one point he went to grab lunch and tried to pay for his own meal, and the liaison snatched the receipt out of his hand and almost took his hand off. And Ken Hite turned to him and said, "You tried to pay for your own lunch? That's a rookie move."
Then we had all these guests up there who'd been with us and understood and were like, listen, I know this con. Like that was a delight. God, 26 years of con.
Okay, that's time.
What?
Time, that's 5 minutes.
I didn't even get to the snacks. I didn't even get to the snacks. Was that really 5 minutes?
It was really 5 minutes. 32 seconds.
Okay, we still have 32 seconds. All right, okay, popcorn. Who's favorite snack for cars? Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its? What else? Dutch pretzels? Okay. What else? Peanut butter pretzels. Good choice, good choice. Little protein with your card. Nice. Rice Krispies? Rice Krispie treats. In your face. Skittles are a classic, of course.
Con sweet cheese in specific.
Con sweet cheese sounds like government cheese. Did you know there's a cave full of cheese that the government owns and it won't share? I'm so mad about it. They have cheese and they're hoarding it away from us. Give me my fair share of the taxpayer cheese. So, you want to show me art?
Yeah, we probably should.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, we, I don't know how Melissa and Jared could get anything done in 5 minutes, but that doesn't matter. They're all still drawing. They're like, 5 minutes, you son of a bitch. But still, let's start with Danielle this time and see what Danielle has come up with for her con snack. Oh my God.
So none of you eat the pears, and I steal them all on Sunday. And I take them home and I make tarts, and they're my favorite.
Wow.
Because they're not ripe.
It's true. The pears, it's always they're not ripe. That's why I don't eat any of the pears. I'm like, oh, that.
And they're my favorite to take.
So, thank you all. Well, thank you, number one, CONsweet, for continuing to order unripe pears. And thank you all for not enjoying unripe pears.
That's why it's frowning, because it's not ripe yet.
It's an angry pear.
It's not angry, look at it. It's so
He's so unhappy. He's so unhappy.
I am worthy. Just give me time.
So you should all take a pear home.
Take a pear home and make a
Okay, take a pear home and enjoy it once it gets ripe. I mean,
Take this
that way
adorable
the
pear
convention
home.
is given even after the convention is ended.
Just dig into its soft flesh with your
Okay. Why don't we go with you, Chris? What's your ultimate convergence snack?
Well, I fully admit that I wasn't feeling particularly inspired on this. So I kind of stayed in my comfort range and went back to the tried and true. You've been just mentioning sandwiches, so I started with a sandwich. You know, we have a nice Kaercher roll. You know, we've got the top on there with some sesame seeds, and we've got a selection of like cold cuts and bacon and you know, lettuce and tomato, whatever else you want to throw in there. But obviously eating cheese, I figured just like a big Connie cheese head. Fills that out, gives it a bit of a convention theme.
Sure.
So if you're lactose intolerant, I'm sorry, that's a lot of cheese. But
That is a lot of cheese.
Otherwise, you can pull it apart and start like it's a Connie antenna of cheese. It's nibbled on that. Take it to break the piece off, take it to a panel, you're good for the whole day.
Chris is kind of weird. I'm sorry about this. Haley.
But what I'm picturing, like, let's pause for a second. A Connie head of cheese, cheese head of Connie.
Yeah.
And what I'm picturing is carrying it around throughout the con and literally just. Because it's a hard cheese, it has to be,
Well,
right?
yes.
And you're,
It's not like a cheese ball.
Like a Parmesan, maybe?
She'd end up with one
Oh, wow. This is seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. Haley, why don't you show us your ultimate convergence snack, go-to snack?
Well, I brought this to a con before, not to this one, this is my first time here, but I brought ramen.
Oh, actually ramen is really good. It's a really good con snack. And
Wait, do you have a
Use the coffee machine.
yeah, that's what you do. You use the coffee machine. Then you have coffee-flavored ramen. It's great.
I have coffee PTSD, my husband's a coffee.
Okay, Greta, how about you? What's your go-to convergence snack?
For some reason, I suddenly forgot everything that I've ever eaten, so I decided to draw something that I wish I could eat at con.
Sure.
So I drew the excellent challenge from regular show.
That looks delicious, although gigantic. So this is the excellent challenge, the excellent challenge. I'm just waiting for Wendy to get back.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It is a lot, though. I killed Rigby for a second.
for just a second though.
Just
Then,
a second.
What's the next challenge so I can just start now?
no. No. Anna, what's your go-to con snack?
So I was thinking, but like I could, if I had to, like I could go without food for 4 days, but I could go without coffee for 4 days. Coffee is like the snack.
Well, yeah, with the whole sleep thing that we were talking about earlier, this is 100% necessary, right? How many people do you have more coffee than anything else at CONvergence? How many? Anybody? Has anybody been to Reboot Cafe? Because we have free coffee for the first time in a few years. It used to be called COF2E2, and that went away due in part to the pandemic, but other issues as well. But we finally got it back, and I hear that they are running out of everything, is what I've been told. And they were like starting to run out of things, and they were like, can we go get more? And the answer was no, because you're not going to run out of the stuff people aren't taking if there's other stuff that they want. So we want you to run out of everything, not just keep restocking the one thing that they want all the time. So if there was something that you wanted early in the weekend that's gone now, that's why. Pick something else.
I imagine most people attending the convention do not fully realize the way the availability of things like our coffee shop or what's in Con Suite, or if we host an event, whether there's snacks available or not, fluctuates entirely based on hotel policy and corporate issues.
Yeah, that's a story we'll tell later. It'll be great. You'll love it. All right, Melissa and Jerry, we need your snacks now.
The only thing better for me better than a bowl of rice is many bowls of rice.
So it's Many Bowls of Rice by Melissa.
Still warm.
Many bowls. Well, you want your rice to be warm. And what about you, Jerry?
So here I have a badge banana split. Yeah, it's at the end of con. You of course take the banana and you make a banana split.
So we have a Badger banana split because it turns out the banana is not the same banana year after year. I'm sure that stuns some of you. It clearly shocked Wendy.
Oh, sometimes there's multiple a week, and I love banana splits.
I like the idea that on Thursday it's a banana badging, and by Sunday it's a banana bread badging.
Tiny little holes.
Or it's just Jerry is the one who provides the bananas for the banana badger, but he switches it out every day so you can make banana splits with them. So people who are developing an attachment to the banana badger over the course of the weekend eventually are attached to a completely different banana.
Consuming their love.
Jerry is consuming their love. All right. Well, that was a short round. Which means I think it's time for a longer round. I think we need to give them a full 30 minutes to do something pretty elaborate, something pretty exciting. Oh, yes. And I don't have an idea yet. That's why I'm just talking about it. Because the idea that you mentioned earlier, I don't think is a 30-minute round. Oh, okay, well then, I was going to steal it anyway because it gave me something to do, but that doesn't matter. So, 30 minutes, what is something that they could draw that would take some time? It doesn't have to be CONvergence related at this point. A city map? Oh, sure, that would take a lot of time.
What about a map of like some fictional thing or?
Oh, how about this? That is a good idea. So if you think about the map in the Lord of the Rings of Middle Earth, which is very stylized, right?
Yes.
It's very stylized. So think about a stylized map. It doesn't have to be a really perfect map, but think of a fictional land. A fictional land.
Fictional land.
There can be a fictional land that already exists, or a fictional land that you make up. And you have 30 minutes to create a map of that fictional land.
I have to admit, I'm always excited when a book has a map.
Yeah. See, you're actually going to excite Wendy with this challenge.
I do love a map. I have books about map making.
Have you read them?
I'm a big nerd in a lot of ways. I have the history of cartography at home, and it walks through Listen, longitude was a real problem that they had to solve, and if you've not read that book, it's an amazing book about how they ended up solving, like measuring longitude. Well, see, now I'm blanking on
Isn't it called longitude?
I think it's like longitude
Yeah.
colon, like how they figured it out. Also, I do recommend
Longitude colon, yes.
There's also a really good book, The Madman and the Professor, which is about the creation of the Oxford English Dictionary, which is a really amazing book. They made it into a decent-ish movie, except for the part where Mel Gibson's in it. So, yeah, the book about longitude is fascinating because the issue is that to understand where you are, you have to know what time it is where you were, and keeping time on a ship was very hard because it was pendulum-based clocks, and obviously being on the ocean affects how the pendulum is swinging. And it was a technological breakthrough when they finally figured that out. I love when you walk back far enough and you realize that things you take for granted in such a fundamental way were technological marvels that really stymied people for years.
It sounds like it should have been an episode of The Day the Universe Changed with James Burke.
Oh, it probably was. God, I love that show. Connections for the win.
What happened to my bag of chips? Anyway,
It's just a bag of chips down here, and I didn't know where they came from.
I hate them.
Oh, Wendy. Okay. So we have 30 minutes. We have a while here, and this is going to be our second to last challenge. We're only going to do 2 more challenges, and then we'll call it a day, I think. But does anybody have any other questions that they'd like to ask? Any conversation topics you'd like to discuss? Whatever. Oh, yeah, here's a new person with their hand up. Hello, yellow circle.
Yes. Do you have any behind-the-scenes stories about Taskmaster convergence?
Oh, behind-the-scenes stories about Taskmaster convergence. Sure do I, yes. Here's my favorite that I didn't get to mention during the show because we were like running out of time. We did have a final...
we ran out of time by like 20 minutes.
Yeah, we ran out of time. We did have a...
plan for those panelists to talk.
Yeah, they wouldn't shut up. But, so we had one of the challenges was build the best dice tower. And the task specifically said, make sure to announce when you are doing your official roll, that's when the clock will stop. And that was phrased that way on purpose to make it clear that until you announced that you were doing your official roll, you could test it as many times as you wanted. And we didn't have it because of the video, the way the video was edited together. We didn't really have time to show. Only 2 of them figured out that they could test it. That was Nick and Duck. And Nick figured out that he could tested it multiple times to make sure it worked. It worked perfectly every time. Duck's never worked. And the reason you kept seeing him put things in place was because he would start up really high and he would figure out where they would fall out and he'd be like, oh, well, clearly they're not going to fall out further up. So he'd have to, and he just kept sliding things in. But he kept sliding them in a way that they would catch the dice as they came down. If he just layered them the other direction, it would have worked great. But that's why it was 8 seconds when he's like finally making his final roll, and he's literally just crossing his fingers that it's going to work this time, because it hasn't worked ever. In 20 minutes, his dice tower has not worked, but finally, the last roll, it goes down. Melissa and I are in the garage together just being like, this is the dumbest plan I've ever seen in my life. And Duck is a very smart man, but he was not that day.
Some feedback on that to share with you as a contestant in a little bit. But go on, my friend. I know where you're going with this, yes.
Wendy, by the way, not only didn't realize she could test her dice, and her dice tower failed, but she never announced she was doing her official roll. So the roll didn't count. And she was also the fastest at building her dice tower. It took her under 5 minutes. She just built the dice tower, pulled out some music and played it, and rolled the dice. And they didn't work. And she had 15 more minutes to solve the problem. and she just left.
I also picked up the extra dice and just put them back down.
Yeah, and she also picked up one of the extra dice and just set it back down.
Okay, so the other, I don't know if you're a fan of the Taskmaster show in Britain, but it's pretty clear that that is done over many different filming times. The way this was done is we each had basically a 2-hour block on a Saturday. And we showed up and we did all of our tasks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That dice tower was the last task, and I will tell you, and I checked in, Miss Shannon and Duck agreed. They were like, oh God, by the time I got to that, I did not care anymore. I did not want to brain anymore at all. And so it's like, build a dice tower, and I'm like, how fast can I do this so I can be done? And I know Taskmaster, I'm a big fan. I know all the ins and outs and everything, and I knew that I should look closer, and yet I really was just like, oh look, this is what it says to do. I feel good about that, let's go. And so, like, the point is, we all are supposed to look dumb, and I will tell you as a contestant, all I wanted was to make sure I wasn't the only dumb one, and that was so reassuring. So, because I knew that I'm like, listen, I know, I'm the personality hire, that's why I'm here. But at least I was not consistently always the dumbest.
No, not in every task. But the other
I
thing.
have magic fingers that can discern shapes amazingly well. I had 16 of those.
You did. You were great. Jeremy could have done better if he'd actually put his hand inside the bag. But for whatever reason, he decided that was against the rules. I don't know.
My favorite is he clearly gets the idea if I put something in the bag. And when he gets the idea, he doesn't move expeditiously. He just sort of goes, oh.
And he only had 3 minutes. He
wandered off.
He wanders off, and basically the second he steps out of the room, the time expires and I blow the whistle.
Why did you tell him when he got back?
And he's in a room with a ton of
Because he would have gone on forever, Jerry.
And stuffed it in there. So, yeah.
The other thing that I don't understand, we did the gift task, which is something that they've done on Taskmaster several times. Get the Taskmaster a gift.
I had a brief moment of like, listen, I've already got 2 tattoos.
I was wondering how you do the tattoo.
I was like, but that's like, no, that's copying an idea, and I don't want, I don't need to hear it from the British guy with his British accent being all arrogant about it, so.
And that was literally designed to be like 2 minutes of filming, right? You film them reading the task, you thank them, and they leave. And then Shannon's like, well, I wonder what I can get from your house. I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
I talked to Miss Shannon, and you know what she told me?
I think I do know what she told you.
She was just like, listen, I don't want to have to think about this after I leave. I'm done right now.
Yeah, but what she told me was that she was under the impression that's what everybody had done.
She did tell
She
me
was
that.
convinced.
She's like, really? None of you even thought to just take something from where you were? And I'm like, no. I had weeks to figure it out.
She just walked around my house for a while and then pointed at something. How about that? I'm like, okay.
I mean, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was good.
And she actually picked something that was very important to me that I could introduce as being something really cool that she picked that she was now giving to Lee, and I was expecting not to get back. And I just had to go on faith, and it wasn't really anything to worry about, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that she's going to give it to Lee, and on stage, Lee's going to say he's keeping it and taking it home, and he's going to give it back to me later. But I had to take the chance that that wasn't what was going to happen. And it worked out. It worked out.
It did. I will tell you this, it's not even backstage, we were on stage. Jeremy reads the task of send the punchline to a joke every day from now until the actual panel. And I, honest to God, had a just terrified moment of, oh my God, did I completely forget about something I was supposed to do for weeks? And I look over at Shannon and Duck, and they're going, I don't remember being told. And they're like, I don't remember, Jesus, were we we supposed to? And then like all of us at the same time, the penny dropped a, oh. The absolute panic on half of those chairs. Jesus Christ, was I supposed to? Oh, Jesus, no, we're just making fun of Jeremy, thank God.
I was sitting in the green room with Jeremy. It was after Tim and I were talking about the show order right before the show, and Jeremy and Nick were in there. And Jeremy goes, oh, he started talking about the texting the punchlines to Nick, and Nick just had the, what are you talking about, look?
And Jeremy did not pick up on it, you intervened?
I just did this to Jeremy. Oh.
You're not supposed to talk about the tasks with your fellow contestants.
No. Tim, after we had breakfast and Jeremy joined us because he just butted in.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Goddamn.
We get back to the hotel and his phone has an alarm. And he's like, and I looked at it and it's send a punchline to Tim, and I was like, oh, is he helping out with some of Tim's jokes? And I was like, that's interesting. He's like, ah. And he does it and wanders off. And I was like, okay.
That was
great.
That was
great.
so
And I had my entire plan was to just take a couple of punchlines from his text stream and tell horrible, horrible jokes that had nothing to do with the punchline.
Yeah, you did that.
Yeah, I did.
That was the thing that happened.
That was the thing that happened, and it was great. It was glorious, but it was also great to be just like, no points. You just.
So I went home with $20, and honest to God, I had just gotten gifted a hand-me-down Cricut to make custom t-shirts, because I also want to get into bookbinding, because why not have another craft project, right? And the first thing I thought of was, I have so much flipping fabric, and Lee loves to wear vests, so I'm going to make him a vest. And then I was like, wait a second, I want to check in with Paul. So I checked in with Paul Cornell, and I'm like, okay, what's something that Lee would like? And he said, well, and I was like, I need information. What's something that Lee would like? Do you happen to know like his shirt size for the vest? Are there any of his, he loves to do theater, what's some of his favorite roles he's done, like just really fishing for ideas. And he said, well, I can tell you he'd love to have a Hugo. And I was just like, oh, wait, now I know what I'm gonna do. And then I was like, maybe I'll just make him a Hugo. And then I was like, no, I want to make him a t-shirt that's going to make fun of the fact he doesn't have a Hugo. And I'm like, that's not going to go well. Okay, let's keep working. I was workshopping it for 2 of the weeks, so it came down to the last week before con, when I was in the middle of making 3 costumes for Lori, that I was like, okay, now that I know what I'm going to do, and I have never used this Cricut machine before, I'm going to wait till the last day before I have to hit the road to the con to try and make these t-shirts that I've got the whole thing sort of hinged on. And it worked, yay! I forgot the best part. The amigurumi doll pattern. So I was like, oh, I'm going to make him an amigurumi, which is a little crochet doll. Well, I had to go find the right one, right? I'm looking through free ones. That doll pattern is a Chucky from Child's Play doll. So tiny little Lee Harris is, his DNA is a psychotic serial killer doll.
I do see a hand raise. I will just, for the prize task, the little back door there, the gift task is, I kept getting pictures of the gifts, and Wendy's was one of the last. And every time I got a picture of a gift, I was like, holy shit! I mean, Jeremy did Lee's face in Legos, and it got 1 point. 1 point, because they were all amazing. And usually at least one person phones it in. And technically Shannon did, because all she did was pointed a picture on my wall. But she picked such a good picture that it ended up being just about as great as everybody else's. And I'm like, I don't know how he's going to score this at all. I have no idea.
I was a little surprised that he started with me. I'm like, okay, we're in it. You're in it for a minute. I've warned Tim. I was like, Tim, you need to know my gift comes in 5 parts. Tim's just...
Okay.
He just gets that look of 25 years of being my friend of, okay.
Well, this is a windy moment. Okay, and here, I think we told enough Taskmaster stories, unless there's a question about Taskmaster. Yes?
Completely unrelated. I really like your shirt and your pants. Very nice.
Thank
so
you.
I wanted to ask what your favorite song from Hamilton was.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
This is a long answer.
Oh, boy, buckle up,
I
everyone.
used to love Hamilton.
It is in performance. I was lucky enough to actually see the original Broadway cast the week after they won the Tony. My husband and I were obsessed with the musical and we're like, screw it, we don't need that money, let's go. And we literally, it was a one-night adventure. We flew out in the morning, saw the show, and flew right back. In performance, The Room Where It Happens by Leslie Odom Jr. was amazing. I keep being sad because it doesn't show up on the video in the right way. But when he's up on the table at the end of the song and the moment where he hops and they pull the cover away, in the performance that I saw where I was sitting, the light hit that mirror top like blindingly. So when he did that and it just was revealed, he was suddenly in this spotlight up. And I just, what just happened? And because Daveed Diggs was insane on stage and all of the cast was so great, and oh my God, Quiet Uptown, you could hear like the waves of sniffling through the entire theater as people are just all through the song. But that moment, and Leslie Odom Jr. he did not hold back. This man had been performing that number for a year, and he won the Tony at that point. Like, and they were gonna.
He had nothing else to prove.
Nothing to prove. He could have gone out there and phoned it in. That man brought it down. And Everybody Loves to Wait For It, which is a great song, but that performance is the one that I'm like, this is Aaron Burr. This is this man's ambition, naked ambition. It's so good. Also, would anybody like a Hamilton sticker? I have some.
Honestly, most Broadway stars win their Tony and then just phone it in.
They do. Patti LuPone, I mean, seriously, what's she done lately?
Honest to God, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a real phenomenon.
Oh wow! I was trying to be absurd. I thought that was ridiculous to do that.
Most of the time you do your year run for the Tony eligibility, and you want to really be doing a good job up until the Tonys are done, and then a lot of performers are exhausted, and they're just like, so you can always tell the people who truly love performing because they're the ones who bring it all the time because the performing is the thing that they love.
Artists, you have about 10 minutes.
Who else wants to get a sticker?
I will tell a brief story about Hamilton. My children are 20 and 25 at this point. Back during the pandemic, which they'd be approximately 5 years younger than they are now, and they had shown, as far as I could tell, no interest in literally any music their entire lives. The only music my eldest claimed to enjoy was video game music. Not like video game songs, but background music in video games. Both of my boys are neurodivergent and on the spectrum, and so they have this tendency. They get along really well, which is thank goodness for that. But they get along really well, and they have a tendency to make lists and rank things. Right now, they are in the middle of ranking literally every spell in Dungeons and Dragons by level, as to which spell is best. Not even by class, by if it's a 5th level spell, all the cleric spells, all the druid spells, all the wizard spells, all go into and then they rank them 1 through however many things. And this is after they got done spending 6 months ranking every single class and subclass in Dungeons & Dragons against each other to determine which one was best. And they had to discuss how much better they might get as they went up in level, because it couldn't just be first level, it had to be through the entire progression. So what I'm saying is they're a little bit obsessive about certain things. So I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry. It was a really long conversation. I mean, it was a 6 months conversation. I should ask. But the point is, we showed them Hamilton during the pandemic when it came out on Disney Plus. We're like, what the hell? Let's all watch this together. This will be great. And they fucking loved it. They were obsessed with it. And they spent hours having extensive conversations on what the best songs were in Hamilton and ranking them. And it would be like they'd mention a song and slot it into first place, and then another song, oh no, that's better, and then that would get slotted into first place.
I mean, if you're talking about just sheer brilliance, Satisfied.
Yeah, that's what they put there. But anyway, that was there.
And the staging on that is absolute insanity, where they rewind everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But also, My Shot took Lin-Manuel Miranda over a year to write, because he just kept making it more dense and kept literally adding more words.
So they would have these conversations, right? And then they would be like, okay, so Dad, what do you think the best song in Hamilton is? Thinking that I was the same kind of neurodivergent as them, I guess.
I mean, to be fair, there's some genetic components
There
there
is.
that would
There
seem to
is.
apply.
And I was like, it's the room where it happens. Next. And they're like, well, but what about Satisfied? I'm like, that's good, but it's the room where it happens. And then
It's the room where it happens.
and they're like, yeah, but what about this? That's another really good song, but it's still not the best song. You asked me what the best song is. I know. I'm done. So.
I was road tripping to meet Melissa in New Orleans, and during my Hamilton obsession phase, and I sang that soundtrack 3 times through on the drive, and the best part was I just knew anybody passing me on the highway was seeing so many emotions, because man, when I would sing Burn, I would just be sobbing. Good times.
Do you think people were passing you and just like, was that woman okay?
I mean, seriously. It worked to my advantage, because I think a cop was going to pull me over for something, and then I literally was crying because of Burn, and then he backed off. But,
So pro tip.
that woman just doesn't look okay. I was not okay because I have a terrifying fear of heights, and and I drove to New Orleans, and there is on the highway. And it's literally the bridge from Texas into Louisiana, which right there, why are you in either one of those places? And there is this bridge that they have to make very tall for the ships to get under. The thing is, you don't know that until by the time you can see it, it's too late, is my point. By the time you can see it, you don't have an exit strategy. There's no way to nope out and find a different route. I did find a different route for the way home, BT dubs, because I was like, so help me God. I don't care how many small towns I drive through, that's not happening again. And so it appears ahead of me, and it's literally so tall that at the top is just so thin, and it's 2 lanes on either side. And that was, it was on that bridge that the cop clearly was thinking about it. So I was already crying because of Burn, and then I was literally just crying because I was terrified. And I'm like, I have to go over this bridge. There is no way out. There are cars behind me. But I couldn't. I was so scared. I was going 40 miles an hour on this bridge, but I wouldn't get into the right lane because that was the outside lane, and I was going to die. I was going to fall off the edge and die, so I'm hugging the center. And I'm going 40 miles an hour up this bridge, and I'm just sobbing. I'm like, I hate this. Why did I decide I wanted to see Melissa in New Orleans? And then as I came up over the crest, listen, there was existential terror. And as it came over the crest, right, once I start going downhill, I'm going with gravity again, and it makes sense to my brain, and so I get less scared. But clearly the cop was behind me, because what is wrong with this clearly drunk woman who's going 40 in the left-hand lane on this bridge? Except as he came around me to buzz, and I was hysterical, sobbing too, because now it was also relief. I'm just
See this. I'm also afraid of heights, but not the kind of afraid of heights Wendy is. A bridge is fine.
No, it's not.
A bridge is fine for me. A bridge is fine for me. But what I discovered is, and I will regularly climb to the top of very tall things because I'm like, screw being afraid of this. But
Oh,
what
yeah, I do, but I also,
Yeah.
I have a whole support system that I insist upon.
What I discovered is the thing that freaks me out more than anything, and all that I've ever done, was when I was climbing the dome of St. Peter's in Rome. There's a point where you go on a catwalk around the dome, and you can look down into the dome. It's, from what I understand, beautiful. I didn't look. And for whatever reason, that was what freaked me out. I didn't freak out when I got to the top of the dome. I think because it's kind of angled like this, and it looks like you can slide, which you can't. It turns vertical. It's a bad idea, but whatever. My brain was fine with it. And I was just freaked out as I'm walking along this catwalk. And my response in a situation like that is, go faster, get off. The problem is there was a woman in front of me who had the same response, except her response in that situation is, go slow. So
It was not me, but that is my
she
response.
is inching along while every part of my brain is wanting to just run her over. So, and we both want the same thing, which is to not be there. But we both have completely different and opposing responses to that moment, which is why Wendy and I, if we're ever going to climb something high together, I need to be in front.
He goes first. I went to the top of St. Paul's in London, which is a very similar structure in the inner dome and the outer dome. My response to heights is I don't want to see how high I go up, and and there is a very weird thing that I don't like to go up, but going down is fine. So once I get to the top of a thing, in general, I am fine because I am not going higher from there. And my brain tips over into everything from here is down, and down is okay because we want to go down. Down is where the earth is. So like once I got to the top of the little cupola up there, I was fine. But to get up there, I have to go up all these stairs, right? And my tactic is to look down so I don't know that I'm going up. Except the stairs were mesh grate. And so I had nowhere to look that was not making it abundantly clear I was gonna die. And Chris and I weren't married yet. And this is how you know you find a keeper, because I'm trying to be small so people can go by me, and I am just clutching this little railing and just, so help me God, I'm gonna do it. Like Tim, I'm like, I will not miss out on experiences, but I'm gonna have to do it the way it happens. Listen, we don't make the rules. And I'm inching up, and my soon-to-be husband is just behind me, and he's not frustrated or anything. He's just like, she's fine, just go around her. She's fine. Just go around her. She'll be fine. Are you sure she doesn't look? Trust me, that she wants to do this. This is something she's doing. So then when we went, former guest of honor, Taskmaster Lee Harris, he announced on Facebook back in 2019 that he was going to be in a production of Annie in his town of York, playing Miss Hannigan. And that was the moment that Melissa and I and our friend Jess were like, we are going.
Yeah, we are, and we did.
And we did. Yes, this is a small community theater production in York, in England, and so help me God, we were going to watch Lee Harris play Miss Hannigan, which we did, and we had a delightful time. So we went to York, and there's a beautiful cathedral, the York Minster, which you can climb to the top of, and it is a medieval building. And so we bought the ticket, and everybody there knows what is going to happen. And they're like, okay, Wendy, what do you need from us? And I'm like, okay. And it's a very tight spiral stone staircase. So I'm like, I need to be able to see feet in front of me, not stairs. And I need to know that there is somebody behind me who will catch me so that I won't die, right? Because I'm very worried about falling backwards. I don't know why, but I am. So Melissa's like, I will follow behind you. And I'm like, okay. And then turned to my child and my husband, and they're like, we will go in front. And I'm like, okay. So it was my spouse, my child, and me. And we start going up, and my child is just like, this is fun, and my husband lost the plot, apparently, and all of a sudden, my child just scampered out of view, and I just freeze, and we were the last ones. I was also like, we need to be last. Everybody else goes up first on this tour, we will be the last ones. My child scampers out of view, and I'm just like, you need to come back. Where are you? And I hear from above my husband like, Theodora, your mother's terrified, get back there. Sorry, Mom. Goes back down. And just start slowly plodding up the stairs again so I can follow.
This is another thing your child's going to be talking to you about when you're older. It's like, this is how you ruined my life.
There's going to be a lot of those.
We are almost done. We have a minute left. So
Oh, really, do we?
we'll
I
save,
killed time.
we'll save your question for the next challenge. Like I said, this is the second to last, the penultimate challenge.
Penultimate, you love that word. It's a good word.
It's a good word.
You know what's a better word?
What's a better word?
Anti-penultimate.
Anti-penultimate? Does that mean last?
No, it's the third. Like,
Oh,
there's
sure.
the end, there's the next to end, there's the third to end. Is the
Anti-penultimate.
anti-penultimate.
What's pre-anti-penultimate then?
That's the fourth.
Okay.
I just made that up, but it makes sense.
So is it
It's anti
fifth-
with an E.
Is
right?
fifth pre-anti-penultimate?
Well, like, y'all are just starting to make stuff up now. I think at that point you say fifth from the end. Not everything needs a specified
I
word.
can. I'm just not going to.
You know what? The word for that is almost.
Sorry, we just got asked to spell anti-disestablishmentarianism, and I'm just like, I can do that, but why would I do that? That's boring.
That's boring.
Yeah, it is. So that's also boring. The time is up. Time is up. Also, this is a lot more interesting. We get to see art. That's what we're here for. You're not here to watch us, even though that's 98% of what you do on this panel.
Suckers.
Which is the impossible part of Art Impossible. So why don't we start over, they're still working. I was going to start with Melissa and Jerry first, but no. They need all the time.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Good, we're starting with Melissa and Jerry. They get to go first for once. They were doing a map of a fictional place.
I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map.
Okay, who has seen Escape from New York? Well, I decided I had this white PLA and I started making the flyover map where when they fly over in the beginning of the movie and you see New York and you have the little buildings in the done in white lines. So yeah, I started making all the little buildings.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's right.
Do you know how they did that?
Well, yeah, because it was before computer graphics.
Yeah, it was before computer, well, there was computer graphics that could do it, but they did not have money. So they basically just took a bunch of cardboard boxes and put reflective tape on all the edges, shone light on it, and did a camera flyover.
And what was the name of the guy in the effects crew that was putting all the tape on the black boxes?
Oh shit, who was that?
James Cameron.
Oh God, that's right. I forgot about that.
James Cameron.
Yeah, that one.
Has anybody seen the movie The Beach?
We just
Yeah,
watched that.
we just watched it.
We just watched that.
I made the beach.
Look at it. Look at it.
Okay, here I'll reconstruct it on your palm.
Because this is where the...
This is one piece. You can see there's a few coconuts
Yeah.
on there. One fell onto the beach. There's a little beach blanket and there's a sandcastle. And then here's the ocean part that goes on it. And there's a little me and a little shark.
And a little shark. It's not a little shark. That shark eats him. Okay. Look.
The movie? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, well, very cool.
Okay. See, you're making me believe that these things do actually work. I just had it.
Okay. Next, I think we will go to Greta. I don't think we've had a chance to start with Greta yet, so now is that time, even though Greta is still furiously finishing. Sorry about that. Okay, and why don't you tell us what you made a map of?
I made a map of what the world looks like between heaven and hell.
Oh, what the world looks like between heaven and hell. Wow, that's like everything, literally everything, in one drawing. Wow, the world looks like a pancake, kind of, comparatively speaking, to heaven and hell. I suppose from heaven and hell standpoint.
Still no syrup.
This is not propaganda for flat earthers. This is just a creative choice.
Fair.
Anyone who believes in flat earth, don't use me as a reason to say, oh, it's true, it's
All
true.
right, no, Greta is not a resource for flat earthers. Just keep that in mind.
I always hate to yuck somebody else's yum, but on that one, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know that flat earthing is a yum, but Danielle, why don't you enjoy your, well, you're enjoying your carrots, and I think that's great, but what do you have drawn for us?
I didn't get to finish, but, so this is just gonna be a blank map for somebody to fill in with whatever they want.
It's a blank map for somebody to fill in with whatever they want. It's a do your own map.
Do your own map,
Yeah.
DIY.
but with no names or,
Yeah.
you know.
It's a map with no names. See, an Indiana Jones reference. I appreciate that.
Desert on a map with no name.
That's- How about we go with Anna next? Anna, what do you have for us?
So I drew a map, not from the top, but further away from a side angle of a legally distinct island with dinosaurs.
A map of a legally distinct island with dinosaurs, not a Jurassic island.
That is not Ela Clark, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's Ela.
It's ElaWish.com.
Ela Wish. They got naming rights. Wish.com got naming rights to the Ela.
Welcome to Cretaceous green space.
So, yeah, definitely some very nice looking dinosaurs. A flying lizard up at the top. Flying reptile, excuse me, flying reptile. There we go. And I know. Looks very good. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad. And we have Chris and Greta left. Why don't we go with Greta? Not Greta. Haley. Haley.
I made a map of a murder scene.
Oh, a murder scene map. Which, I mean, it's very important for crime scene investigators to have maps like this. Oh, look, there's a body.
There's two.
Oh, there's two with a lot of blood. This is, oh, suspect's footprint, wallet. Yeah. There's even a key, which includes blood. Blood is one of the items on the key. If you here, you can take a look. See?
Oh, that is so cool.
Here you go, Wendy. Be careful of this. Don't get the blood on yourself.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right. Wendy's going to take that around. And Chris, what did you draw with your map time? Because I could tell the timing of this was a real hardship for you.
Well, I'm concerned because I feel like people aren't going to find it satisfactory.
Okay.
This is Waterworld.
I believe the proper response to that is nobody found Waterworld satisfactory, Chris.
Okay, so when I finished this, I had 25 minutes left, so I did a second one.
Okay.
And my first thought was, you know how much of a Batman fan I am.
A lot, yeah.
Fan. And I thought, I could do like a map of the Batcave. And then I thought, wait, that's not on brand enough. I mean, I'm a Batman fan, but like here on brand for me is Connie stuff. So I had the Connie Cave. So we've got the Hyatt Regency Hotel up here. There's access to the Connie Cave via Connie poles. And then of course we've got the Connie computer. We've got the Connie mobile on a nice round table there. We've got the atomic pile, the exit there, crime lab equipment, and yes, that's the Connie.
All right, the Connie Cave. Nicely done. All right.
Did you want to show people the water world as well?
I'm disturbed by something called a Connie pole.
I'm just going to point out that he got done with the first one and had 25 minutes left, and he got done with the second one and I think had 20 minutes left.
Well, I got done with the second one. I thought there were 5 minutes left, and and then you were like, oh, 5 more minutes. I'm like, oh, I could have done a little more. That's okay. And then like 5 minutes later, like 3.5 more minutes. I'm like, what the hell? Are we not done? So I'm sorry.
I believe when he heard me say 5 more minutes, what I said was 15 more minutes. So anyway, all right, so we're going to do one more challenge. I think we'll make this a 15-minute challenge. This, I think we need to have an audience-designed challenge. So if you have an idea for a challenge you think these artists can create in 15 minutes, I need you to raise your hands. And if nobody has an idea, then I'm going to have to come up with mine. So back here.
So our theme for the con is that's how we roll. Design a set of dice.
Okay, design a set of dice. That could be done in 15 minutes. Over here.
It's right there.
Done.
What? A use for the third floor. That's right, the third floor of this hotel, which you ride the escalator and then there's just...
Isn't it just that lobby? There's nothing.
There's just all the pictures of the Doctor Who's lined up. And that's it. So use for the third floor.
There's stuff inside.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you about that in a little bit. There's a storage area in there. We'll talk about that in a minute. Anybody else have any ideas? Anybody else? Yeah? The destruction of Cardboard City, as done in Connie's Quantum Sandbox every year. Yeah.
Maybe like a next year theme? Something about.
Something about next year's theme. Actually, that is a good idea. Next year's theme, unfortunately, this would be super easy for Chris because next year's theme is robots.
And androids and gynoids and
How could I
cyborgs.
incorporate Connie into such a thing?
Yeah. All right.
We could do the classic A future theme for CONvergence.
Yes, we could, but I've actually got an idea. I like all these ideas, but I'd like to combine two of them into one.
Okay.
So next year's theme is robots or androids or artificial intelligence, specifically not real artificial intelligence, but fictional artificial intelligence. And this year's theme is games or gaming. So let's take the idea of dice, and let's take the idea of robots, and put that together. And I'd like to see some robotic dice. I'd like to see some different robotic dice. I realized as I said it that Chris had already drawn that, but that's not the point. I want actual dice, Chris. I want polygons. I want polygons. Some serious.
I feel like robot arms might be a thing.
Yeah, they could be a thing. You could be like R2D2, only a D20. R2D20.
R2D20.
It could be a whole set. R2D4, R2D6, R2.
C3-sided PO.
So you got 15 minutes to draw that while we have one final conversation with our audience. The third floor, let me tell you about that briefly. You are correct. There is a giant storage area that is behind the wall of glass that is on that floor. And in that storage area is, and I know this for a fact, almost nothing. Almost nothing. It's unused. And this is where, and we love this hotel. They actually work with us super well. But this is where hotels and businesses in general get weird. When they have an empty space, their general response to it is, we're going to do something with this someday, so we don't want anybody else to do something with it someday. So like, if you ever remember at the Mall of America, they used to have like this big old activity area up on the 4th floor when they built it. And then slowly over time, because it was a horrible failure of an idea, everything went out of business and they didn't put anything else in there. So this is a true story. When the Rainforest Cafe, the company that produced the Rainforest Cafe, decided they wanted to do a new concept for a restaurant, which was a dinosaur-themed restaurant, they came to the Mall of America and said, we want to open our flagship of this dinosaur-themed restaurant on the 4th floor of your building. And the Mall of America said, no, we have plans for that space. Plans that they did not have because they executed nothing there for over 10 years. In the meantime, these folks went and built their flagship restaurant at Disney World. So the hotel operates from a similar kind of mindset because we were like, one of the hardest things for CONvergence to do is move a lot of our stuff in and out, especially the couches that we have in Cinema Rex. It's one of the things that we think makes our movie room unique is the fact we've got these comfy couches that you can lounge on for the entirety of the movie. But imagine 2 containers filled with couches that you have to load at the end of the year and then unload at the beginning of each year, carry them through the loading dock up 5 floors through an elevator, and then through this complex maze of hallways because the elevator is nowhere near where Cinema Rex is. It took basically a day each time. Basically, Monday was load-in day for Rex to get all those couches up and into that room, and then Monday again was load-out day to get them all back down and Tetrised into the containers. And we were like, Wouldn't it be a great idea if we just could store it on the 3rd floor?
Look at that big room. It's
Yeah.
right there.
We could pay the hotel. We already pay for these storage containers. So even if it was a little more money, the amount it saves in volunteer labor is enormous. And this was the first year that I returned to the board. For those of you that don't know, I was an original board member for 10 years, and then I returned to the board 3 years ago. So I mentioned this to Eric Knight, who's our head of facilities, and he went and talked to the hotel, and they basically said no.
We have plans.
They have plans for that space. And it took us another 2 years of just going, what do you think of this? You're still not doing anything with this space. And they said no. And then last year they said, well, how much were you thinking? And so last year, at the end of the year, we were able to move the couches not down to the loading dock, but down to the 3rd floor. So what's the 3rd floor being used for? Among other things, our couches. Also, several other things that allowed us to reduce our storage footprint, which, for those of you that are unaware, one of the major expenses for this convention is storage from year to year. And actually, we were able to reduce that cost by the hotel agreeing to let us store a whole bunch of that stuff right here in this building. And it also, again, reduced the wear and tear on our volunteers. And logistics, who are the folks that are responsible for moving in and moving out, all that stuff, do a great job, and they are one of the departments where we had a high level of burnout because it's really hard. And even though they only work at the very beginning of the convention, when the convention is over, it is hard to get volunteers at that time. So it's basically the people in that department and the people from the departments that they're helping, and that's it. Which is another way of saying, if y'all are around tomorrow, people need help. They really need help. But even though they do need help, moving couches from Rex is a lot easier. Last year we were done in like 3 hours. It was amazing. It was about the sexiest thing that's ever happened at this convention.
That reminds me, so when we did year 10, Michael Sheard, who had been a beloved guest of honor, kept joking that he wanted the con to be 5 days. And for year 10, we decided that we would do it. We had a memorial panel on Sunday night at like 12:01.
12:01.
So it was technically the 5th day, Sue. But we decided the previous year, and I think it might have even been before the previous year's con, we're like, what if for year 10 we did expand to 4 days? What do we think? And we talked to the CONcom about it. And like we let it marinate for a little bit because this was a big ask. We were asking for another full day of volunteer labor from every department. And we were like, we really want to do this unless you guys can come up with a really good reason why not. We want to do it as, just a one-off for year 10. Just a one-off. Year 10. That's it. For year 10 to make it special. And the CONcom did agree, and so for a year, we were like, we hope you guys are planning. We hope you guys are planning. It's going to be an extra day. It's going to be a lot of work. And then we got to the con.
And it turned out...
every single department was like, Jesus Christ, this is so much easier. I took a nap today. Because we had an extra
Having
day.
the extra day means it wasn't set up, work, tear down.
Because it would have been Friday, launch, Saturday. Everything's happening. Sunday. Make it go away. And now with that extra day in between, people are like, can we keep it?
Which is why it's a 4-day convention now. It's mostly for the CONcom. Now, I actually, since we're talking about the CONcom, and I don't know that we bring this up every year at this panel, but we really should, remind all of you that if you can volunteer for the con, that is great. We function on volunteers. There are volunteer perks. I don't expect anybody to volunteer because of the perks. I want you to volunteer because this con's great, and the way to make it keep being great is to keep volunteering.
And there's a billion different ways to do it.
Yeah.
I am technically volunteering right now.
Yeah, look at that.
Just by being a sass mouth.
Just by being sassy.
Listen, do what you love, and you'll never regret
Our
it.
artists are volunteering right now. There are a lot of ways to volunteer. We need that. But the people who run this con all put in so many hours. We cap like volunteer hours at 60 hours. There's not a single member of CONcom who walks into this building anywhere near having put in 60 hours of work. They're all way beyond that. It is
Concom doesn't bother to even record their hours. We just sort of assume.
We're just like,
you're fine.
You're capped at 60. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We don't get them walking in and go, well, you're going to have to badge for an hour to get your 60. And there are some that do badge for an hour.
I've got a banana.
So, do us a favor. Do yourselves a favor. If you encounter somebody who's working on this con, just say thanks. Do them a favor. Just thank them, because this con doesn't exist without them.
True facts.
And one thing that I did want to talk about, that I want you to think about, and I think most of the new people have left, but if you are new to this con, what we developed 26 years ago, 27 years ago, but 26 cons ago, anyway, was what the people putting it together at the time thought was cool. And that doesn't mean it's what people now think is cool. And there are a lot of things that have been going on at this con for a very long time that are still very popular. But the question is, what's the next thing? What do you think this con should be doing to evolve? Where do you think this con should be going? And I'm not saying, well, become an anime con. An anime con already exists, and there are many of them in the Twin Cities, and they're great. And if you like them, we can recommend them to you. We're never going to be an anime con. That's not who we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be an all-person general con. But I was like at a reading this morning where the author had one person in the room. Until later, a little later, they had two. And she was like, 2 people is great. But 25 years ago, it used to be 25 people, which was still not a huge panel. But readings aren't that popular anymore. Now, does that mean we should get rid of them entirely? Does it mean we need to figure out a different way to get people interested in readings? Does it mean we should be talking to these authors about ways that they can present their material in a way that's going to reach new people? I'm like, is it just something simple like everybody's reading their books via audiobook right now, so reading doesn't provide them with something that feels particularly different or interesting or novel? Is it that people aren't that interested in books, so they aren't interested in watching an author read their work? But I mean, I was really asking myself that question. I was in the room with the author this morning, and I was just texting the room. But I was like, if we even had 10 people in this room, that would be a victory for that author. And there's over 4,000 people at this con, and I kind of feel like there ought to be 10 people that were interested in that. But maybe there aren't. But what are they interested in? And
to the larger point, we are getting old, and I know this because you've watched me for the last hour rubbing at the back of my back because I've been standing a lot, and I'm at the point in my life where that doesn't feel good. We are getting old, those of us who started the con. This was our vision 20 plus years ago. We would like this convention to continue, and so we recognize what we thought was great 25 years ago, pre-social media, before smartphones. Perhaps there's some new way to do things. Perhaps there are new entertainments to be had. So all we are saying is we'd like to bring this up and start putting the conversation out there. We would like to hear, well, what is it that you love about this con? What is it that you're like, it'd be cool? Because that's why we started the con. It was literally a founding principle was just, it'd be cool. What if there was a movie room where the chairs were comfortable? It'd be cool. What if we got those raver kids over there, they're not kids anymore, and we just gave them a whole space and let them do what they wanted, and now we have Comedy Space Lounge, right?
Yeah. So if you fill out the survey, I hope you fill out the survey, often there's a question about what would you change or what do you want to see different. I would challenge you to answer with something like, to think of the question as, what do you think this con needs to do to evolve, to move forward? What can we bring to people that they are missing right now? And for a lot of people, we'll get, not enough rice in con suite. I mean, okay, fine, whatever. And then
less dancing, more prancing.
That's stuff we can work with. Yes, that was a comment one year. Less dancing, more prancing.
That's my favorite survey comment. Less dancing, more prancing. I can do something with that. I feel like we are doing, like, especially post-pandemic, all of us, we're just trying to get back to where we were and do it well, right? And that is not any sort of criticism for any of us as people or as an organization. But we are post-pandemic, we are now several years past it, so we're just doing things the way we've always done them and doing the things we've always done. And we love those things, so I'm not throwing shade. We love those things. But is there a new thing we could do? Like, what else could we do?
We've got hands. We don't
I
know.
don't know if you've done this already or in the past, but you thought of a clothes swap. And I got a book swap, maybe a clothes swap.
Cosplay swap.
Cosplay swap.
A cost swap.
Okay, I started a rap battle and I was like, there was 1 year I feel like that could be actually.
A rap battle.
Put it on the survey.
Yeah.
I love it. And by the way, this is how so much of what we love at CONvergence happens, is just somebody makes something happen. So it comes back to, if you, CONvergence is people. CONvergence is people. Everything that we love here is just because of people made it happen.
And I'm going to say, sometimes you need to be willing to make this thing happen yourself, because Taskmaster, which we did for the first time at CONvergence this year, but almost all of us, it was our pandemic watch, and we've been figuring out how to make a Taskmaster CONvergence happen for the last 4 years, and finally, but because we always wanted, Lee was one of the first people that came up with it. Jerry and Melissa came up with it individually, and Wendy. But anyway, we were like,
I had
Lee.
so many of my friends being like, why did you get to be on it? Because if I'm one of the people who had the idea, so shut up. I get to be on the
And also, shut up. It's 5 people a year. We have to have different people every year. We will get to you. Dear God. Eric. Anyway, for example.
Just saying, as one potential possible person.
As one
who
potential
said
possible
something.
person. But what happened was, a bunch of us who wanted to make this happen finally made it happen. And it's now a new thing, and hopefully we continue doing it for...
But that brings up a good point. I feel like maybe you all assume that it's because we are the people you so frequently see do things, that we have some special power. You could ask to do these things too.
Yeah. It's just...
It is not because we are magical people. It does make it easier because we know immediately who to start with, Melissa. We know immediately who to ask. But other than that, like, if any one of you has an amazing idea and wants to make it happen, start asking, can I do this?
Yeah, I was like, hey, why isn't anybody recording panels and getting them online? And then I was voluntold to, thanks for coming up with an idea in the department to record panels and put it online.
Anyway, that could also happen. But anyway, what was your
So if you
idea?
want a rap battle.
Yeah.
We've known about it for over a decade now, and I still have never seen it.
We are, but it is now showing up on my TikTok.
Yeah.
Our social media this year has really stepped up.
I agree that we need to do a better job. Like putting up signs at convenience stores and stuff. Yeah.
Bless your all's heart, TikTok. Like, I'm not even joking. TikTok, Instagram. Like, and like there is a place still for the print media and
sure.
just putting it up, but also like I bought these off of TikTok. I am so easily sold to via TikTok. I cannot even.
But I think the important thing about that is TikTok is work. It's work, and everything here is happening via volunteers. So you have to have volunteers that are willing to do it and are good at it. We found some people who were willing to do it and who were good at it, and they did some work. But that's trying to keep that level of work all the time can be a real challenge.
Also, there's no silver bullet for YouTube.
There is no silver bullet.
No. There's no silver bullet. Like we've brainstormed ideas about like different outreach
Almost
or
done.
like
30%.
logo, like bring a friend, right? Like bring a newbie, half off, something like that.
Yeah, my band, we've been performing at the Siouxland Renaissance Festival for soon to be 20 years. We just finished our 19th season out there. Because I am old.
Thank you, Fest. Jesus Christ, I was.
That's so great. And
I was about to
every
say
year,
dust.
every year as we're headed off to go do the show, you know, we'll stop at a convenience store in full Renaissance Festival costume to pick up something, and the person at the convenience store will say, "Oh, that's interesting. What's going on?" We're like, "Oh yeah, we're working at the Renaissance Festival," which we're staying in a hotel like a mile from the Renaissance Festival site, and we've been there for 20 years, but I think the festival itself is 25 years old. So a mile away from the festival site, and every time we say, "Oh yeah, we're working at the Renaissance Festival right over there." "Oh really? I didn't know we had a Renaissance Festival." So think about that, a mile away from an event that's big enough to draw thousands of people. Every year, the people a mile away have never heard of its existence.
I know billboards, those work.
Who the hell knows what works? Anyway,
This makes it sound like we're
artists.
desperate or something, we're not, but we're getting older. And we just want to make sure it stays young and vibrant.
Yeah, so if you have ideas, more ideas. Rap battle's great, make it happen. Or find somebody who will make it happen. You
Find somebody.
don't, all you have to do is find the right person. I don't know who the right person is. What I know is it's not me. So let's go to Mr. Jones, who is going to show us his mechanical dice that will take part in a rap battle. I did not just add that. That's been there the whole time. Don't pretend you're surprised.
I'm not pretending. I do mechanical dice by way of little mechanical arms that come out to make sure that they land on the face that you want.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
Not, so technically not loaded. Technically not loaded dice. Okay. Gotta let Wendy get around the room a little bit.
That's right, you do. We have the yards. She says at the end of the panel.
Usually we have Dawn here so that we can have two people carrying art at the same time, but we have to drag it out. Danielle? What? Oh my God, it's in a frame.
It's an itty bitty baby percentage dice robot.
It's an itty bitty baby percentage die robot in a frame.
Oh my God. Oh my, oh my God.
It says 100%.
It says beep beep boop. You gotta look really close to the camera.
Okay, listen, y'all just trust me, because I'd have to give you lap dances for y'all to see.
What? I'm actually now very glad that was the last challenge for reasons that have nothing to do with just wanting to take a break before my band performs. Anyway, the Dregs, 10 p.m., Harmonic Convergence. It'll be I don't want to say a good show, but it will be a show.
All right, fine, I'm sure it'll be a good show. We've never rehearsed.
Okay, Anna. By the way, a big round of applause as we go through for our brand new artists. Didn't even know they were doing it this morning. So appreciative that they showed up, and we didn't have just 3 artists here today. That's great, and you've been producing great stuff. Anna, what do you have for us?
So I do a little transformer die.
Oh, a transformer die. Are they Transformers or Decepticons?
I mean, it would be an Autobot.
It would be an Autobot. Yeah, okay, it is yeah. I know they're all Transformers. I'm sorry. I should realize you all take your Transformer lore very, very seriously.
Yeah, it's just not sounding like
That is an Autobot, not a Decepticon, we have determined.
Well, I mean, if it was a Decepticon,
If it was a Decepticon, it would, always come up with a 1. Okay. Greta. Once again, a round of applause for Greta. What does your mechanical die look like?
I wanted to base the die off of my favorite robots, so I drew the die with different robots from Futurama.
Oh, Futurama robots. That's amazing.
Futurama, that's great.
What?
Oh, favorite robots are from Futurama, that's great.
Wow. You're kind of an asshole in your old age. So weird that Connie is such a happy robot drawn by such a crank.
It's called fiction, Tim.
I'll call your fiction. All right. Haley, We cannot wait to find out what you came up with, and neither can you because you're just finishing it. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Take all the time you need.
I made a cat robot that follows you around and it throws up dice.
A cat robot that follows you around and throws up dice. I have a real cat.
I think that's better than a dice tower.
I have a real cat that follows me around and would throw up dice.
All right, roll for perception.
That is spectacular. Spectacular. Once again, for a round of applause for our 3 new artists, Greta and Anna. Amazing work. And then, of course, we come to whatever the hell Melissa and Jerry made. So you took the die you had already created.
And we made it into a robot.
You made it into a robot.
With a microphone for grandpa.
And also a PDA, because we all know that everybody just does dice randomizers on their phones. So really, the dice robot just needs to use.
Also to lay a beat.
Yes.
So yes, we have a 6-sided die that has been turned into a robot. It has a Connie antenna on it, I should point out. It has a microphone for a rap battle, so we've already got that started. And it has a little PDA. That's all the time we have. I need to say a huge thank you to all of our artists, Christopher Jones, Danielle, Anna, Greta, Haley, Melissa, and Jerry. Of course, a big, big thank you to Wendy for keeping things going with me while we do this Art Impossible. Once again, the drawn art will be available for bidding on at the art auction, which starts, I think, at 7 in this room, 9 in this room. It starts at 9 o'clock in this room, and you can bid on that art. And as I said, basically, they take the top 5 bids. Number 1 bid gets to pick first, number 2 bid, and so on. So if you're one of the top 5 bids, you get some of this art to take home and tell your friends about. And no matter what, one of you is going to get a robot cat throwing up dice. How can that not be the coolest thing that happened to you this weekend? Everybody, I hope you enjoy the rest of your convention. Bye-bye.